Jumbo, fellow adventurers, welcome to another spiritual tune-up. I'm Mike Dooley, answering your questions about living deliberately, creating consciously in this oasis, this bastion of order floating through the cosmos. What a miracle every moment of our lives are. And we are the creators, the co-creators of all that we share. Therefore, what you want is the least you deserve. And it is my aim and intention to bring maybe some otherwise confusing metaphysical ideas down to earth so you can get your groove on and live like you have never lived before. Thank you for your questions. That's where I get talking points every single Monday through Friday, 9:15 Eastern Time. The questions posted on any given day are the ones I consider the next day. So post questions on the day of a broadcast, and I will be reviewing the comments under that broadcast the next morning. Okay, so this question is one that I've encountered and asked myself at different junctures in the road: how to interpret slow manifestations. Well, I've got about 5 considerations and then 3 steps to consider. Further, to clarify the question, Mike, I am a very efficient person and I do everything fast. But the universe is not acting as fast as my tempo. Help. Okay, so the considerations first. The universe only knows one speed. Now! But we live in the soup and the momentum of 7.5 billion creations, including our own evolving streaming process. And because we bought the ticket to believe in time, space, and matter, we don't get now. We get as soon as flipping possible. That's what the universe is doing. Yet, sometimes it seems like years, decades, or longer go by. How to interpret this? What to make of it? Don't assume you're out of sync with the universe. Do not consume, similarly, do not assume something is wrong with you. This is probably the biggest mistake people make. I want it, don't have it, something's wrong with me. I want it, and I've always wanted it. My whole flippin' life, and I still don't have it. Must be me. Not the case. It could be so many other things. You do think 60,000 thoughts a day. You do deeply, passionately want more things than you acknowledge. Dozens, if not hundreds, if not thousands of dreams are awaiting. Dreams that you have entertained in your life. Not to mention no back pain. Not to mention no sniffles and colds. Not to mention other things that you don't even put a thought towards, yet they are implied by all else you move with. So the universe is spinning on your behalf millions of plates at the same time. And then you show up and say, hey, I want to be rich. Hey, why aren't I rich? Oh, I must be self-sabotaging. You actually weren't self-sabotaging until you said, I must be self-sabotaging. Now the universe is spinning all these plates, and he had to start a new one. She had to start a new one. Show Mike how he is self-sabotaging. You weren't, but you claimed it. Now you own it. So the worst thing you could do is assume something is wrong. It could be a matter of priorities. It could be a matter of balancing your relationship with your mom or your kid or your partner or the person you haven't yet met, but the universe knows is days away from being introduced to you. Look, it could be tonight that you get that phone call, even though it hasn't been 12 or 22 years. It could be tonight. The tipping point has been reached. But then you say, something's wrong with me. Nothing is wrong with you. You couldn't be more powerful. You couldn't be more deserving. You couldn't be more ready. Just follow the simple things that I share in these tune-ups, in my courses. Thoughts become things. Define what you want wisely in terms of the end result. Let me get to those 3 steps on how to deal with your impatience in a moment. I'm still trying to negate any other conflicting assumptions you may have otherwise had. A thought here in these considerations: do not get so impatient, and all of you know what I'm talking about, that you try to go force something. If you try to force that relationship, force that investment, force that book you want to write, but you're just not lined up to write it yet, oh man, all hell breaks loose and you are going down. Okay? And you might make a breakthrough, but it will come at the expense of something else. You want to gently move forward with your end result in mind, knocking on doors, turning over stones, but never insisting, attaching, or forcing. Do not force it. Do not go there. You're going to break it. You're going to step out of sync with divine intelligence, and that is not a path you want to cross. Okay? Not because there's vengeance, but just because you can't imagine all the good stuff now being pressed to you, and you foul it all up by getting all indignant with your little human brain and trying to override the system. Doesn't work. All right, other considerations before I give you my 3 tricks. Okay, all right. Sometimes, given we have a lot of desires, I kind of covered this, the manifestation of that big one, the money, the relationship, the creative, fulfilling work, can only come after other manifestations that maybe you haven't even consciously been made aware of have to fall into place. I kind of covered that. And sometimes the path or the thing you want that you have difficulty naming is none of the above. And you've been trying to micromanage this, that, and the other and put the lever in the box and make it fit. It's like sometimes you just need a little more time. Sometimes you just need to grow up and have some maturity and see things more clearly. I wanted to be a writer in some form or fashion since I was about 14, 13 years old. But I knew that every time I sat down in my teens, in my 20s, even in my 30s, that I just wasn't ready. And that's okay. I had so many other things to enjoy in my life. I had to go look for them. And you might just not be ready for that one thing you want, not because of God's judgment, there's no such judgment, but because you want to have a stable base so that when you get it, you can keep it. Just be patient. So here are my 3 steps. Enjoy your life now, even though that thing has not shown up. Okay? Enjoy your life as if it's never going to show up. That sounds like a big contradiction. But there's so much more to your life than that thing or that person or anything else. And there's no one that can stop you from feeling joy today, feeling love today, being loved today. You just can't say by or from whom. You don't want to micromanage. So enjoy your life today. Be happy without it, and it will come so much quicker. I know it's the biggest dichotomy of all. Be happy without it doesn't mean learn to settle for less. It just means be happy now, and you will be a magnet for all other things that could increase your happiness. Number 2, continue doing your best to physically move towards those things you want that have not shown up now. We've nixed the possibility that you're drawing bogus conclusions. We're getting you out of your own way. We're creating space through patience for none of the above to all of a sudden be populated with the right answer. In the meantime, continue showing up. Don't show up with a frown. Show up because you get to show up. Show up because it's all such a privilege. Show up because every day you're going to meet new friends because of that dream you have. Show up, press on, baby steps, and enjoy the journey. So you got to keep on keeping on. Let the universe do the heavy lifting. You just knock on doors, turn over stones, ask for help. And then number 3, continue reflecting. Continue reconsidering, continue recalibrating, continue self-questioning, and make sure that thing you want or have always wanted is actually something you authentically really care about. And that it's not because you wanted to show your dad you could really do it, or prove something to your mother, or to silence your friends and their doubt of whatever it is they're doubting about you. Your motivation ought to be your joy and your joy alone, which doesn't mean everyone else can go to hell. Sometimes your joy will come the quickest and best if at the same time you're following your heart, you're helping other folks. But you've got to be authentic and real and genuine. And we grow, we evolve, we change. And that thing you wanted when you were 19 years old may not stir your heart when you're 29 or 49 or 69 years old. Yet if you're still chasing it because that's all you ever knew, if your heart's not there and you're thinking all these other thoughts, there's just going to be a slowing down of the entire process, and perhaps very likely no manifestation whatsoever, because you really don't have the emotion behind it. So enjoy your life. Keep pressing forward. Keep self-reflecting and just being honest with yourself, maybe journaling, finding out what you really want, and how else you might be able to get it, while never assuming something is wrong with you, understanding the universe only knows fast, and your day will dawn. Fellow adventurers, thanks for being with me today. It's been a pleasure. Chantal and Uttara and Maggie and Kathy on Facebook, Annie and Dean and Heather and Pavson Sakshi on Instagram. Thank you so much. I got to go get ready for my mini manifesting workshop. I can't wait. It's all about rocking your life, going bigger, running faster, living longer. It's going to launch in 32 minutes for my Infinite Possibility members. Go ahead, check it out. The link below. You can join today. Pick the price you want to pay. This is what we're doing for more and more of our offerings. If you're slow or you're watching this on the recording, then you can watch the recording of my mini manifesting workshop, which is on the dashboard of members for a year. I've got 52 other mini manifesting workshops you can also watch. Thanks for letting me do this. Post your questions down below. Thank you for the stars, Jeng. Thanks for the interaction, Sherry. Thanks for sharing these with your friends, and I'll see you, if not in 30 minutes, tomorrow. Taleho amigo. Hasta la pronto.